Oh, hi, how can I help you?
Hi there, I'm new to metal detecting and I'd like to buy my first detector today. What do you have in the $300 region?
Would you like it to be waterproof, with an adjustable stem and lightweight too?
Absolutely, and I also need great depth as well. I'd like wireless audio, USB rechargeable, and it would be great if it had software updates.
I've been detecting for 30 years, and there's no way you can get all of that for that price.
And that is where this gentleman is wrong, because there is one option. Only one though. The Nocta Macro Simplex.
And the Simplex becomes the best-selling product worldwide, setting a new bar in terms of price-performance ratio. Simplex has advanced in many ways: hardware, software, design, and ergonomics. Yet one thing has stayed the same: worldwide proven performance and success, backed up by a company that cares. Nocta Simplex New Generation. For every budget.
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show. Bad Air Guitar, Chrissy. Good evening, darling. How are you?
Good evening, Nev. Yes, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, busy week. You okay?
Isn't it?
Yes. And it's warm, it's humid. But
in it, I'm actually was considering putting a fan in here before, but I thought
what is it, 18?
I'd end up getting wound up.
What is it, 18 degrees up north, or?
Yeah, and obviously because you're close to the equator, you've got at least 10 degrees on us.
Yeah, it's like Miami down here, mate. Yeah, absolutely boiling. Absolutely.
I can
boiling.
see you. You look like Don Johnson there, mate.
I know. A lot of people say that. Either that or Fodder Phil. So I don't quite know why that one.
Or Michael Caine, I've heard as well. But hey.
McCain chips. But anyway, I forgot to ask you, you were away this weekend, weren't you? Just gone.
Yes, I was. Yes, indeed, I was.
detecting.
Metal detecting. And tonight's guests are from the event, kindly joining us this evening to tell us all about the festivities at the weekend, amongst all other things, Ministry of Detect as well. So looking forward greatly to speaking to them in the dry.
Did you find anything of consequence, David?
Personally, no, I didn't. I found lots of bits. The boy found lots of bits. He went off on his own. He disappeared for about 2.5 hours. But
I think
there
we
was
call him Mason the Historic Magnet.
Isn't he?
Because he
is a history magnet.
He's picking up stuff left, right, and centre. He's got more patience than his dad. But did you try out the Versa from Reuters?
Sadly not. Tony came on.
Did he just turn up?
Funny story. Turned up on the Friday afternoon, detected for about an hour, went back to the site after the rain, and we chilled out. He came and sat with me and Scotty B and whatnot. Had a chat and what have you. We were talking till quite late, me and Tony. And then in the morning, it was that biblical, the weather, that Tony went home. So I didn't even see him that day. So
Tony went home to his TARDIS. Oh, dear. Oh, that's a shame. You didn't have a go. But maybe at Rodney Cook and Detectable, you can have a play with mine in the tent.
Oh, thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
So I thought you'd like that. Good evening, everyone in the chat. We've got.
Yes, I was just having a look there. Angie's in a stable in Cheshire with a sleepy, sedated horse. That's no way to talk about Derek, is it? I've got to say as well, Adrian, quite a few people came up to me at the weekend who actually watched the show. So either lying or they watched the show.
Were they family?
No, they weren't family. There were people up at the Ministry Detector, and it was like, what?
Well,
and,
if
I feel a bit ill at ease when people say they watched the show. I don't know how to react.
I'm waiting to have someone come up to me when I'm shopping or buying like
baby powder, Vaseline.
No, 3 cucumbers on my own at Tesco's, and someone comes up to me. But yeah, if you are watching if you're sitting there at home, there's a load of rubbish on.
If you are watching in the chat,
just come and join in the chat. Just say hello because there's some very friendly people.
Yes. Tony had a hangover on Saturday morning. Sherry.
I don't know why he drinks it. Do not. No. I mean, I suppose because when you're detecting,
I witnessed it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even expensive sherry. It was cheap knockoff, bottom of the shelf sherry. Because
I know he's got that, those backpacks runners use.
Yes.
They're like got that. I know he's got one of those that he fills with sherry, and he said it's nice, like little tipple when you're detecting. He hasn't got to carry a can or anything, but it's not good for you, Tony.
I can tell you for a fact, he'd never met Chrissy before, and he was following Chrissy round with the bag, with the sherry in the bag with the straw, trying to give it to Chrissy, and I saw her say no.
Yeah, I just think it. I mean,
which is good because he could have had Rohypnol or anything in it, really, couldn't it?
I have my Thursday night tipple, but drinking.
But you only have one
every day. Yeah, one. Oh. Ange, if she can join the chat from a stable, anyone can. Yes, thank you, Ange. Yes, this week's show is dedicated to horses, and we're going to be talking about. No, it's not. I would like to have someone on the show to talk to us about horseshoes.
James has gone. James has gone off there. Oh, he's
James,
back now. I can see. I've got the little screens at the bottom, so I can see what Chrissy and James are doing.
Sorry, Tony K was just put in the chat cooking sherry. That's why he drinks so much of it, because it's cheaper, isn't it? Cooking sherry. I think it is. That's why. That's why.
Where's she
Berry,
going
hello,
now?
Nick.
Chrissy's all
Nick
over the
Berry.
place.
Nick Berry in the chat, Dave. Those who have seen the what is it? You explain it. The thing you did, the poll.
Yes, the Big Detecting Show poll that went on a couple of weeks ago on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. Nick kindly contacted us and asked could he be of assistance in creating some form of award for the winners of each section. And he has. And I think we're blown away, aren't we, Adrian?
Yeah. So we can't say who's won, but they'll be announced at Rodney Cook and Detectable, won't they, David?
There'll be
And-
half at Rodney Cook and half at Detectable.
Yeah. So this is a historical award, I would say.
Yes, it is.
A
Look at that.
bespoke
We've got Martin
historical-
van der Beek watching from the Netherlands.
Martin. I think Martin came on a few weeks ago. Couldn't get the chat to work on YouTube. No, we do have the odd.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to ask you, Adrian, off air, how I reset my settings for YouTube because it automatically goes onto kids mode and doesn't allow any comments. So it doesn't. And I need to change it from that.
Is that because Tony's in the chat?
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay. Well, write a letter to the Tube man, you Mr. Tube, and I'll explain. It's all okay now. It's all been sorted and cleared up. Whatever happened.
Tony Kaywood's workmates pissed themselves when they saw him falling over. Was it an internet poll? Ah, right. Saw him falling over was on an internet poll.
Oh, that is the funniest outtake. And you fellas don't want to know what the vet has just had. I know. Oh dear, I can imagine it. Oof. But yes, Tony falling over was.
Oh, sorry, to the horse. I thought you meant what the vet had done to Derek.
No.
Shall we bring that lovely Chrissy and James on, or should we just let them sit there looking bored a bit longer? Yeah, they're both getting ready now. Don't look bored anymore. Don't look anymore. Now they've gone off screen. Let's put them on screen, and they're both hiding. Look at them hiding.
Noel's house party.
Hey!
Hiya, all right. God.
Nick West in Cyprus. Good evening, both. How are we?
Yeah, good.
Got over the weekend?
Say that again, Dave.
Have you got over the weekend?
Just about. I'm still pulling mud out my fingernails, but we're nearly there.
So, for those who don't know you both, ladies first. Chrissy, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Christine, Chrissy Detects, metal detectorist. I run Equinox 800 and I love metal detecting. And I'm also an admin on Ministry of Metal Detecting Group. But I do the videos for them as well. So if you want to check out my videos for Ministry Detect, they're on YouTube, Chrissy Detects.
We actually got you a few subscribers last time, didn't we? You got your over
300, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've gone past 400 now.
Let's get it to 450 tonight.
Yeah, come on. Chrissy Detects on YouTube. But then they'll leave the show and won't watch it, Dave. But
400, I can't remember.
Oh, James, introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm James, and I run Ministry Detect Metal Detecting Group. I use an Ox 800. That's me.
How long have you? I think last time you were on the show, Chrissy, I was on. Are you sure I was on holiday, Dave? I wasn't on.
Yeah,
the show.
Shane done the show with me that night.
Was I on this year's holiday?
It was Anglesey, and it was in about May. It was episode 149.5 when you were away.
Oh yes, because I was doing a triathlon, wasn't I? Weekend triathlon. So yeah, Chrissy was on, and I did. How many? Yeah, I was drinking. How many years you've been detecting, Chrissy?
3.5.
Yeah. What got you into it?
I've always wanted to do it. I did have a metal detector about 20 years ago, but bringing kids up and trying to do the hobby, I'd struggled a little bit, so I sold it. Now the kids are all adults, I can have got the freedom to just get out there and do what I love.
you've sold them.
Yeah.
It's when your kids start. My son started enjoying it now, and it's good. It's good. He's good at it and he enjoys it. But
Adrian, him doing it means that he's coming to the RCM, and me and him get to go to town on you.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit worried about that. But sorry. And did you want to ask any questions, Dave?
No, I'm going to let you ask away. I know.
No, you ask because I hog it all. Your turn.
Well, you did have a technical week last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was burnt out. Sorry, geeking off. I'm going to get even geekier next week because I've got another machine.
Oh God, he is as well. You can't wait to hear what he's got coming. Anyway,
no, I'm not.
James, I know we've asked you off camera on sort of an interview off air, but tell us how Ministry of Detect came about and how long that's been running now.
Well, we've been running since, I think it was October 2019, the group was initially set up. It was just mainly a page, for sharing finds and, just a general chit chat. Few people started asking us if we're going to organise digs. And obviously through the work that I do, I work quite closely with a lot of landowners, so that obviously provided the land. We started doing digs, what was it? I think it was early 2000, what was it? Yeah. About the year after we started doing, I think it was about March, the first dig. And since then, we've pretty much done one every single weekend. It's been non-stop since then. And here we are now, 3-4 years later, still going.
5K membership.
Yeah. It's just grown, really.
What was that about the membership?
On Facebook, like 5K. Just nice.
And how many people have you got in your club actually meet up?
It can vary as well because obviously one minute we're in Derbyshire, then we could be in Yorkshire, or so locality wise it depends. So
we average we have regular diggers. I'd probably say 40 to 50 regular attendees that come no matter where we are. And then we can be spread all over the country really. Well, generally 2 hours of Manchester, up towards Harrogate, down near Shrewsbury. Just depends on where we're at and what people turn up.
Yeah, that's a nice size though, isn't it? Yeah. It's like manageable.
It's not too bad. We average about that on a dig. We could probably get a few more depending on the area, but it's nice to keep it a little bit lower. It's more controllable then, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like the lottery, isn't it? You've got more chance of getting a good find. That's the way I look at it anyway. So, Dave, you went last week.
I did indeed. And this is Paul. This is the font of Play Your Cards Right. I'm second only to he, and obviously other people who've done it. But that's number one Play Your Cards Right host, who is Chrissy's partner.
Oh, he's top, Paul. He's like the MOD mascot. That's what he is.
I'm the welfare officer for MOD.
And top Captain Birdseye look-alike.
Yeah, that as well, yeah. Or Harold Shipman, it's one or two.
No, it's called Papa Smith.
Harold Shipman.
Paul, how long have you been detecting?
Well, that's the thing, Dave. I don't like detecting. I hate detecting. It's boring. But I do it because there's a really, really good social side. So I'm not interested in detecting whatsoever. For me personally, it doesn't do anything for me.
You like seeing the finds?
Oh yeah, the finds. The history that people do get the ground is fantastic. But I like the social aspect of it. MOD is a really sociable group, and I like meeting new people, talking to new people, and promoting MOD wherever I go.
Making toasties.
Do you know what? I was wondering when we came to the Alsager dig while he was just stood there all day, and obviously that's why.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I just enjoy it because it's just great. I mean, like I said, it's not for everybody. It's not for me, but I'm glad to be part of the group because I have a really, really good relationship with everybody, a good rapport with everybody, and I think I provide a decent service as well. I'm only £10 an hour.
No, it's nice you're honest.
Can you have a quick?
It's just on my t-shirt, £10 an hour. Camper van electrics and DIY. That's what I do.
That's fun.
That's me plugged up. Sorry, guys.
He keeps asking me if I want to wear one of his shirts.
And she won't.
No, not for £10 an hour. I think I'm worth more than that.
£12.50.
Get your van sorted, Dave.
What do you mean? My van sorted? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, But if the electrics play up after
I've got,
Rodney
I've
Cook,
got
was
ashamed for that.
Give us a shout. Yeah, so I just like the whole aspect of everything apart from the actual walking around the field, especially the peeing down rain, waving a detector around.
Do you know you're actually the first person I've met in the hobby who doesn't like the hobby?
Yeah, I've just been honest. You know, I don't guess it. It's just not for me.
I've met people who love metal detecting but hate people, and that's why they metal detect.
I
They
hate
don't
people. That's why I'm horrible.
Yeah, you can understand that, can't you? And, you know,
Yeah.
if you just want to go out there and be on your own. I mean, it's bad enough when you bump into a load of ramblers and that. Oh, you found anything yet? Oh, have you ever found gold? Oh, blah, blah. And you get all that and you're like, oh, God. But, you know, I like going out on my own a lot, detecting. Quite enjoy it. Sometimes I take the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to escape on your own sometimes, isn't it?
It's nice when you're on a day dig with them all day and everybody comes and has a brew and a chat, then they all bugger off and I'm on my own for the day. It's great.
But again, like with metal detecting, you get a lot of like van lifers as well that are into the hobby. So there's a lot of like camper vans. That is Paul's thing, because he's converted 2 of our camper vans at the moment. So.
Oh wow!
And he hasn't come over and patted me on my back for my hard work either yet.
Well, you won't show me the inside of your van, Dave.
I'll show anyone the inside of my van.
That's what she said.
Well,
it's yeah.
I'm going to go back to what I'm doing. I'm going to leave these two to talk about Ministry of Detect. If you need any further information, just give me a shout. I will right corner.
Okay.
Good day. Good day.
Thanks for your time.
Nice to see you both. To see you.
It doesn't work when you do it.
It doesn't
to the front. You have to do it to the. That's better.
Oh dear.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, we finished on camper vans, which has surprised me because on that note, what Paul said and Chrissy said, I'm surprised there hasn't been a camper van conversion company at some of the big rallies because we all want one, and if we could afford it, we'd have one. And Chrissy's right, there are a lot of sort of those type of people, and they're massive in price now. After COVID, they went up through the roof, didn't they? And everyone's nicking them, and it does come with the hobby. You know, unlike me and Dave sleeping in a Luton or Bedford van, wasn't it, Dave?
LDV.
LDV with no bed. Well, you had an airbed, but
I had an airbed. You had the front seats.
Yeah, but it does come with the hobby, and I must admit, it's on my bucket list to get a camper van. I'd love it. I really would. But you say about Paul coming round with you, Chrissy, or going with you. I think last year's Detectival, I probably spotted half a dozen men and women who were just carrying spades for their partner and digging the target.
We didn't do that. No,
but I saw it and I thought, at least he's open and says, "Oh, I don't like it, I hate it." Right, whereas these poor women and blokes who follow their partner around all day in the rain, digging holes. Do you know what I mean? I thought, oh God, but I suppose that's what love is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And metal detecting. Dave uses his son.
It is, isn't
it? Shane's actually shocked that James is on the show.
Oh, he got me on it finally.
Too scared. Don't be scared to come on here. Don't need to be scared at all.
I've told him it's just like going to the pub, but you sat at home.
It's easier than going to the pub, which we've both done, haven't we? Live shows from a pub. It's very complicated and hard.
Very, very complicated, very difficult, and very different.
We watched that one.
You watched it live and congratulated me upon my return.
Malk looked very happy with that as well, didn't he?
I don't think Malk's been seen ever since, has he?
No, definitely not.
I've got a cracking video of Malk.
Was that when he was trying to get towed off the other day and couldn't?
No. Oh, well, could have been that. Let me send you this. If I send it you, can you show it?
I can send it. You can do anything. Here, Adrian, I'm going to show you the picture first of, gives you an idea what site was like at the weekend that James has just sent me. One moment, please.
Got one with 10 as well where it was literally boring.
Whilst we're waiting, Fee Cooley, Adrian, you talked about totting up all the money raised by digs who do MOD like support. Good question. See, I will ask that. Well, I've asked it, and I will get to that after this rain dance.
Excuse me.
That gives you an impression what the mud was like. That's what's called detecting in the north, Adrian.
We do have a bit of mud in the rain now and again.
Right, James has sent me a video. This one?
Oh,
hold on. That one? Oh, that. Yeah, that's on.
That's not. I might say it's not the one I'm out, is it? I think it's the one before that.
I think you sent me about 80.
There we go. There we go.
And here we have the malt soaked in his natural habitat. And here we have the malt soaked in his natural habitat.
I like. Oh, God.
Look at the mud, Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was outside. That was outside my caravan. That. Oh, it was horrible.
The farmer, fair play to him. He did a sterling job, didn't he?
Oh, the farmer.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob. Yeah, I would have been stuck without him. He must have pulled 90 vehicles off that field over the weekend.
Easy.
It was non-stop all day Saturday, all day Sunday. We left site at must have been 6 o'clock. It was just it was hard work. It was hard work.
You did all right in tips, though, didn't you?
Yeah, he didn't do too bad actually. He got about 250 quid in tips, the farmer, so he done quite well.
I'd just like to point out as well, James. Look what I found on the way out.
Oh yeah.
Not only did I find it, but I've got home and I can't find the charger or remote.
So you don't know if it works?
No, because I know it works because we stitched it on and there was still power on it, but I don't know where the controller and that is. When we were at the first weekender, we trialed it for the first time, and I went up in the sky. I was like, "Yay, it works!" And then where Scotty B's caravan was in Graham, it sort of ended up in the trees there, and we couldn't get it down. So I went and checked on the way out the other day, and lo, there was a drone.
At least it's not broke, unlike the one that you had.
Oh man!
Don't let Paul use it. Whatever you do.
Malk Sut asked James, "What was the first rally that you went to?"
Oh, I know why he's asking that. It was actually Mark's rally that I went to, the first one. Kermore, or Corma, as the locals call it. That was the first one I went to. That was before COVID. Was it during COVID, actually? I can't remember. Ask him what year that was, if you can. Mark, put it in the chat.
I don't think Malk's going to be able to remember. He's old and he doesn't. His brain's adult and he won't be able to remember stuff like that.
He's in
first proper organised rally was Malk's Band of Brothers up in Lancaster. Really enjoyed it, and that kind of set me off. The wheels in motion for doing what we're doing now.
And you don't just do your own rallies. I know you go into Rodney Cook, for instance. You go quite a lot of other places, don't you? Not just yourself.
I like running the events, but I'm also a detectorist myself. So the more I can get out, the better. Going to the other way, it's nice to watch somebody else struggle instead of doing it yourself. But we enjoy getting out. We have a good meet-up, don't we? There's a lot of people we meet up with who we don't generally see throughout the year. Have a bit of a drink and a detect. There's nothing better. Rodney Cook, I'd say, though, by far is one of the best. Really look forward to that. Well organised, really good event.
Good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's going to be big this year. The biggest one, I think.
They've got the cinema, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
The cinema.
Big headline comedian. RCM, for those who don't know, is Paul Sinner from The Chase.
And some other ones. It's on the Rodney Cook website, I think.
It is indeed. First thing that Gary did, actually, Adrian, was message me and said, "Is he good enough for you?" Why? I don't complain.
I didn't know he was an actual comedian, mate.
I don't think many people did.
I think I've seen him on some BBC iPlayer 3 things or something, and he's quite good. He's quite stern and funny, but I think he's got Parkinson's, and he's joking about that, which is always sort of bad English but good humour. Just quickly, going back to Fee Cooley, who do Ministry of Detect like to support?
Charity wise.
Yeah, is there specific charities or do you?
There isn't a specific one. No, we started off doing some of the big names, like Mind and Dementia UK and places like that. But now we're kind of going more towards your local, smaller charities. Not saying the big charities don't need it, but they have that much support and that much funding. We just feel the smaller ones would probably benefit more from, what the money that we can raise. So we've done quite a lot, haven't we, local charities in the area. So we'll look for one in the area. And then we generally, we'll have a bit of a discussion. We'll pick the best one that we think, and we'll raise a bit of money for that.
And it's good locally as well because word gets around, and local people potentially would want to help out and have a field. So, I think that's nice. Like you say, the big ones, some still struggle, but it's always nice to support the small ones.
Yeah, definitely. You can actually see where the money's going as well. Like the smaller ones will invite us in, and we'll have a walk around. We'll meet the people there, and it's really good. It's really good.
You recently at the T-Bay one, you raised 3,000 plus, didn't you, for our charity?
Yeah, we done £3,100 on the actual event, and then a couple of people that had actually won prizes give the prizes back and said, "Look, if you want to raise some more money, do that," which was really good of them. And we raised another £400, so it's £3,500 total we raised for Jolly Josh.
Yeah, Jolly Josh.
Jolly Josh, which is a charity in Rochdale.
Yes, because I've got a Jolly Josh vest somewhere in the house that doesn't fit me, but fits Scotty Bay.
They're lovely, aren't they?
and before that, you I remember you being with a big chef, Si Dempsey, and what have you were there.
Yeah, do you know what? We've done that many now. It's hard to keep track. That was the autism charity. Yeah, that was the Our World Autism Charity. They're generally based around Manchester. They are getting a little bit bigger, but it's for families dealing with autism. It was a group member actually come forward and suggested it, so we thought we'd support him by supporting his charity. And I think that was about £1,200, £1,100. Yeah.
It's like Fee Cooley was saying. We had this discussion last year. I think it was Rodney Cook, Dave, about hearing all these like little tiny clubs, individual clubs, big clubs, all this money that comes in and no one monitors it. And I think me and you were going to do. Well, I was going to do something with you, weren't I, Dave? We were going to have detecting donations website, and everyone sends us how much money. No, we take all the money and add it up, then give it back to we basically get from clubs and individuals how much money they've raised, whether it's £1, £100 or whatever, and we almost have like a Blue Peter thing. And at the end of the
totalizer.
year, we go to the national press or whoever will probably ignore us because it's not bad news and say, "Do you know this year metal detecting's raised?" I reckon it's got to be at least 300,000, Dave.
Oh, easy, I'd say so. If you add all the individual in,
probably 500,000.
Yeah. Rodney Cook alone does about 100,000, don't they?
Last year was 86, I think. I think the issue with Rodney Cook, because there's so much fuel, generators, marshals,
expenses,
you know what I mean?
A lot of expenses.
It's a marquee. I think the marquee costs thousands alone, and then you've got the comedians, which you could argue don't put that on, but I think it makes it, doesn't it? It makes it.
Yeah, it adds to the experience.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting. I've got to do it, Dave. I mean, you've got to do something.
Yes,
you came up with the polls for the best whatever YouTuber, metal detectorist, and all that. And I think we need to do something else just to get the hobby a bit more noticeable on good news, not night hawkers and
absolutely
like this week, British Museum, where things have gone missing, haven't they, Dave? They've gone
missing. Things have gone missing.
Yeah, from the British Museum.
And it's actually the person who allegedly made the things go missing, and they've now actually said who it was. And it was somebody of consequence as well, a veteran curator, Peter Higgs. And it goes back to 2016, where things that he would gone missing were appearing on his eBay account.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think we all do hear horror stories about things going missing in the hobby when they go through the treasure process. And we also hear all the negatives about night hawkers and people trying to sell stuff illegally. But it's sad that the British Museum have got that in there. But I suppose money's tight, people are skint. I don't know. people take desperate measures, don't they? So
Fee Cooley said we were very subtle then. Well, subtle is our middle name, isn't it, Adrian? Dave Subtle Sadler and Adrian Subtle Gaylor.
Yeah, I don't think the person's named has been charged yet by the police. He's lost his job, so he may be innocent. We don't know. But
well, according to that as well, he lost his job earlier in the year, so it took a while to come out for him.
I'd just like to know
things.
What has gone missing and how much has gone missing. Not as in money, but they haven't stated that. So I wonder if they don't know.
We've had a few members that have lost items, haven't we?
Yeah.
Darren being one of them. Quite a few of their items went missing from, what was that, up towards Yorkshire way. They've had quite a few bits go missing up there.
Yeah, hopefully Martin Lewis from the Portable Antiquities Scheme, when we had him on, Dave, said that it's changing. So hopefully there'll be a better way of submitting your fines and tracking them and stuff like that. But it does worry you. I mean, I've handed some stuff in of value, and I found a ring, and that took, what was it, 4 years, Dave, to go through?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And in that time, I was on the third flow, and I just kept emailing them saying, where is it? Well, it's all safe, it's all safe. And I was like, this is not, I'm getting worried now. Unfortunately, it was there, but you do panic because they've got so much stuff being handed in. I mean, it must be like, well, I don't know. It's just overloaded. And the way they record stuff is so antiquated on bits of paper and photocopy it and all that. So if they can speed up that, the better. Have you guys
emails they send you? I've got my little hoard going through the process at the moment.
Yeah, that'll be your little hoard that's in the Rodney Cook edition of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yes, it's in there.
Yeah.
You sure now you'll sign me a copy?
It's. I think it's put a lot of people off declaring stuff because of the time it takes, and
it's had a negative effect on it. I think a lot of people are more afraid to hand it in now, so I think fines being actually declared now is probably going to drop over time. Definitely,
especially with the proposed change.
Mine's been quite a good experience so far at the moment. The floor's been really good. And
Heather's quite good. We normally deal with Heather Beaton, and she's normally a quick turnaround, really.
Yeah, and she's asked to rush this through because I think the Buxton Museum have expressed an interest in acquiring it. So,
yeah. Mind you, saying that, I did find one of my things in COVID, so just before COVID, so that knocked everything on the head. So, yeah, but we'll see. James, have you found anything of what's your favourite find?
Do you know what? It's not something that special. One of my most interesting finds was a bag seal, a Bank of England bag seal.
Oh, nice.
Was really cool. I found that down in Wiltshire. It's no monetary value or anything like that, but historically, I just, it's a lovely little piece that I've got, and it was one of the first things I found. I just love it. Just imagine what that was attached to back in the day.
Yeah, no, it's true. I was just trying to think, actually. Cool, yeah, that sounds really, really nice. Yeah, you're right.
Britannia on one side, and it says Bank of England on the other.
Yeah, it's the little things like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I love little bits like that. I like my coins and things, but little, arty-farty things like your bag seals, your little bits and pieces. I seem to like them more.
Yeah, I like lead tokens, and Papabulla, which I've only found two, but I'd like to find more.
I'd love Papabulla.
What's a Papabulla? Sorry.
It's Dave's probably better explaining it. It's a pilgrim's
seal in it.
Pouch seal thing. I think they were used to carry holy water. I might be getting confused, but it's basically Google it.
Huh? No, not unpopular. It was like a seal. So if they had a document or something like that, they'd seal it.
Yeah.
And then apparently, if you find a full one, could mean that the messenger got kind of smacked over the head and robbed or something like that because it was never opened. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of them were robbed because they
were lead seals that were attached to papal documents to guarantee their authenticity
from the Pope, weren't they?
Yes,
from the Pope. So actually, the one last time I found one was probably about 3 years ago, and I actually fell. If my mate James is in the chat, I fell in sinking mud. I started up to like, it was like some trenches dug in the field, obviously to drain the water or something, and I lost one of my boots. And I was waving at my mate like that, as if I started panicking a bit because it started going up past my knees and I couldn't get out. He just waved back, lit a cigarette, turned around and walked off. Luckily, I managed to get out. But that was on a plain bit of field near a housing estate. But yeah, I do like those. Right, attached to the document. Yeah, Adrian is getting old and getting mixed up. I am actually, yeah. But yeah, James, that was the best. All I heard was a yelp. Yes, you did, and just ignored me, mate, and walked off. But oh, hang on. And the receiver snapped it in half and sent it back to prove they had got the document. Thank you, Mel.
It never reached its destination of its hole.
For those of you who don't know who Malk Sutt is, Malk runs Band of Brothers Group. He also owns Ace of Spades, which sell Blackadder tools, amongst other things. And also he runs metal detecting holidays. Is that through Band of Brothers as well? On the Isle of Wight every year. And we've got some big news coming regarding said holidays, or said holiday even, in the near future. I've already told you, you blurt.
When did you tell me?
About 2 weeks ago when Malcolm told me.
Oh. Gone. Losing it. Is it me and you are going on holiday to San Francisco again?
Again?
Oh. No. Is it to do with a road trip?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
So I'll put it in the private chat for you, Adrian. And then you'll go,
Howard,
oh, yeah.
Gareth Howard's put and runs private security on female lavatories, Malk. So, that was classic that night.
Yeah.
Yes, you did tell me that. Yes, Malk. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to write that down because I forgot about that. Yes,
and you'll forget again.
No, I won't, because when I write it down, I remember it goes in there.
Chrissy, you're looking very bored.
No, I'm just thinking we could do with a fan in here.
I think you could. What about a nice cold drink? What about a nice cold drink as well, Chrissy?
I'm a fan. She's great. Let's go. That's fun.
Have you got any cold beers, Paul?
Never a dull moment.
He is special, isn't he?
Bring that fan in, please.
Oh,
Went off.
oh, she's back again. What do you do then?
Disappeared.
Paul must have cut us off.
Yeah, I was just. Oh, here comes the fan.
Well, that's a posh one, isn't it?
A fan with a fan.
Fan with a fan. That is a posh fan.
Well, we aren't.
We might get interference off that, though.
He's a boss.
You're going to have to speak to the producer.
Oh,
I actually thought it was Uncle Albert, not a fan.
Oh. I was thinking more like I was trying to think of the name.
Buster Merrifield, isn't he?
No.
who are you talking about now?
Paul.
Oh no,
Paul.
it's Papa Smurf.
Papa Bullersmith.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf. James, have you got a partner that detects with you or thinks you're mad?
I've got a partner that thinks I'm mad, but she doesn't detect with me.
No.
She does come to the events, though.
She does. She will come when she can, but she's working quite a lot at the minute, over the weekend, so it's quite hard. So, cheers, Paul. Thank you. This weekend just gone, I decided to take the 4 kids with me whilst trying to do the event at the same time, which was a bit of a struggle.
And he did.
What ages are they?
We've got. If she's watching, she'll go mad because I forget. There's too many of them. What is there? There's 3, 9, 10, and 3, 10, 11, and 13.
Oh, mind you, the 13-year-old and 10-year-old are old enough to look after the younger ones.
Yeah,
aren't they?
Caitlin's all right, and the other two get on with it. But Isla's a bit needy. She was strapped to my leg most of the weekend.
That the
Yeah.
little one.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they shown any interest in detecting, or?
They do I mean, sometimes it's quite hard on the events to get out with them and do a little bit. Obviously, I'd like a bit more free time to do that when I'm doing, the big events, but it can be hard. But now and again, we will go out and we'll do a little bit here and there. If I go looking at some land or something, I'll take the kids and we'll let them have an hour. Isla's loving it. All my finds, she seems to think are her finds. It's her treasure cabinet, not mine.
Yeah, kids, I think when they do click and get interested, they love it. I remember took some finds into work one day. The girl at work went, "Oh my God, that's Roman." I went, "Yeah." "Oh my God, is that medieval?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Could I take them home and show my daughter?" Next thing I know, the whole school's got them. They're on display at her daughter's school, and everyone's really interested in it. And I suppose nowadays they probably don't go to museums like they used to because of risk assessments, health and safety, and all that. But when I was at school, we'd go to a museum for the day and have a look round. But now it's just YouTube, Google, isn't it? Just look at pictures. And I don't know.
Prime example of that is my 10-year-old Mason. Chrissy will tell you herself. What was he like the weekend? He's off on his own, wasn't
he? Yeah.
He was on a mission.
He got a fossil, didn't
he?
Yeah, he found a fossil whose name eludes me because it's got a big name. Using a fossil. It's basically like a cricket ball size thing. And him and Scotty B's daughter, Cheyenne, Mason thought it was a geode. So he wanted to split it open. And he split it open and it's a fossil. And they've got off each. So when they're older, they get it back together and save the world from its magic powers when they put it back together. See what I mean?
That's like off that geode last year at Joan Allen's day. Gold coins in it.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, but I found one exactly the same and told Chris Rogers and Otis Arms that mine had the signal when I ran the detector over it, and they were all like, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." And they said, "Break it, break it." I went, "No, I'll leave it till I get home." They're like, "No, break it." And then I told them I was winding them up. But the Joan Allen rally is literally lumps of flint. It's ridiculous. It's almost like a volcano with bits of dirt in it. That's on next weekend in Kent. And that'll be interesting if anything comes up, because the big stones like that detected can affect the machine a lot. So we'll see what happens.
Adrian, tell us what exciting bit of machinery you are going to be testing come next week.
Shall I? Oh no, just it's some people will laugh and moan about it because how do you work with that? It's the XP Extreme from XP, the big thing that's like television aerial. So I'm looking forward to going out with that. And I know everyone's sort of saying, "Oh, you need a JCB to dig," but the benefit of this is you'll be able to. Well, yeah, I know you work for JCB, but the benefit of this is if you've got, for me, the way I'm looking at it at the moment, if you've got a permission like I've got that's probably Roman, you find the odd Roman coins. I can see on Google Earth outlines of buildings, but I can't pick anything up around there. So hopefully this will be able to go down a little bit deeper and potentially pick up some activity on certain areas that otherwise probably weren't that busy. So, and then I can go over it with my dose or whatever. So yeah, get one of those next week. It's quite interesting because it's not that dear, Dave. Do you know how much it is?
1,600.
It's, I think, roughly, so I don't know if it's definite yet, but I think for the coils and got it in shaft and all the bits, it's 1,200 quid. And then if you've got a Deus 2, you just put your Deus 2 remote on. So, and I think with a Deus remote, it's like 2,700 quid. So, you can, I know it's not going to be the sort of machine you go looking for hammers with, but let's say if you're a club, right, and you've got 100 members, everyone chips in 100 quid. You could buy that for the club and go out and discover the land a lot more. You could even probably find pipes for the farmer. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out. It's quite interesting. You can't wear any metallic items or have a mobile phone on you when you're doing it. So you can't wear like steel toe cap boots or have your phone in your pocket or anything like that.
So you can't go out in your shell suit?
But
Your
I think
metal
it's a
Zeps.
major, I think it's ideal for this year's Rodney Cook Naked Detecting event, which is I think is that Saturday, 11 till 1?
2. 11 till 2.
11 till 2.
Yes.
Because then you obviously, as long as you haven't got a necklace or a
Are you joining us on that, James?
Yeah, I've already signed up.
It's me, Steve Newman, Adrian,
Robert Carter's signed up.
the dog that's howling next door. Fuck off, dog.
Who else have we got? Tony Kaywood's. He's selling tickets, isn't he? Or no,
No,
he's taking
Tony
the phones.
Kaywood keeps trying to be a part of it. He keeps trying under different pseudonyms, but people keep catching him out.
I think because of his tattoos are quite. How can I put this? I wouldn't say offensive, but quite rude. And if there's kids around, they're quite. Do you know what I mean?
And ladies.
Reminds me of the playing cards you got in France when you were a kid on a day trip. That sort of level of thing. So, but yeah.
When we were a kid, me, James, and Chrissy, we didn't go on a day trip to France because we're up north. We're not that lucky to be able to afford to go. We're working people. We're, working people used to the cold and proper beer and such like. We didn't get sort of like trips to France for the day.
No, but you could go down mines and stuff like that. We couldn't do that. You could climb mountains and caves. We couldn't do that.
We still do. We were climbing mountains at the weekend, weren't we, James?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mountains.
One day when you come down here, Dave, you'll freak out because it's so flat down here. You can just look for miles, and it's quite good because if you see a hill, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be Roman activity on it because of where they went. But when you do come down here one day in your van, it'll be quite funny. We'll go out and take you in the fields, and you'll like it because it's all easy to walk. There's loads of tea shops and tea rooms for cake.
I want to go to that pub that you go to that serves ale from downstairs in jugs.
That's it.
Yeah. They don't have any beer on tap.
Where do you live?
Essex, so not far from Colchester Castle.
He's a Cockney.
I'm not a Cockney. I'm not far, probably about half an hour from Colchester Castle, so I'm not
road
far.
trip.
Yeah, well, I've been talking to my auntie last week at family funeral, and she lives in Colchester. So when I come down to visit her in our camper van,
give us a shout. Yeah. I'll take you to the pub that serves beer in jugs or downstairs, not on tap. And it's a big pub, and it's really busy, but it does good beer. So proper southern beer.
Can you just ask for can I have a jug of beer and just keep the jug?
You could do, yeah.
Instead of like going for a pint, just say, give me a jug.
Me and my wife were in a pub round the corner from there a few years ago, and it was about 8 o'clock at night. We'd all had a drink, and this old woman comes in with a kettle at the bar. I'm like, what's going on? She said, same again for Alan. And I was like, what? And they filled up, she obviously didn't have a jug at home. They filled up her home kettle with beer, and then she just took it home over the road. Quite a good idea. Quite a good idea. Knowing me, I'd forget it had beer in it and boil it in the morning for a cup of tea. But when you come down, because I only see Dave, twice a year?
Yeah.
And even then we're so tired and we don't know.
Very tired.
Yeah, see him every week, but only physically see him twice a year. I'll get a big bear hug. And then
besides the pub, would there be a chance of metal detecting on any permissions with you?
Yeah, my biggest permission, I'm only allowed me and my mate, because the farmer's so strict about it. And then I've got a few other permissions. A nice one, a lot of land, not far from me. Yeah, you could come out with us for the day. Be quite nice, actually, quite good.
You have Paul with you as well, so Paul can carry your spade and keep you like chuckling and stuff.
Well, no, I'll find something wrong with the electrics on one of me cars, me RAV4 or something. Eating wire in a towing hitch or something. Not that I need one.
Some solar panels on it.
Yeah.
So when's the next MOD event of any variety?
We're going to have a day dig 27th, is it? Not this Sunday, the Sunday after. This weekend, I'm just giving everybody a chance to catch up and clean all the gear, really, because everything's still
Mine's done. Everything's done. Washing machine's broke, but everything's done.
Yeah. I just thought everybody needs a bit of a weekend off this one, and then we're going to resume probably 27th, just on a day dig. I'm hoping for Shrewsbury, if the potatoes and everything are off, which they should be. But if not, maybe Sandbach will go back there, because that's been deep plowed for potatoes as well. So we might give that one a whirl. Just see. We're going to go out on Sunday and have a drive around and see what we can come up with.
Oh, you just reminded me. What one of my permissions got a field that's got a lot of Roman in it, but it hasn't been deep ploughed for years, and they've just deep ploughed that, and it's got potatoes in it. We're waiting for them to come up. Just reminded me, I forgot, because that does give once they've put potatoes in. Oh, because you get it's a good couple of feet, isn't it? They go down.
Oh, it's got to be 2-3 foot deep, hasn't it? Easy.
Yeah.
You get yourself some potatoes as well to come home with.
We did last time, didn't we? There was tons of them. We was more throwing them at each other than taking them home, but it was still all good fun.
I tell you what, it's weird how many are left, isn't it, from the machine?
There must be thousands left on them fields afterwards.
Yeah. I wouldn't at all think of taking those off my farmers. But no, you take the odd couple, don't you? And there's onions as well. Yeah. God, do you know what? I'm a bit excited about that. Get some good oven buster, jacket potatoes. Lovely.
Have you got any more weekenders planned this year, or is that into next year?
I need a break from weekenders after last week.
I think you need not only a break, and I think you need a new gazebo as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, and we need two. We lost two gazebos and a marquee last weekend in that blizzard. We're gonna
What happened to the man with the bar, James?
Let's not mention that one. Health and safety reasons. He got whacked in the head by the marquee while it was windy. He was trying to take it down, completely split his wig open, and he was in a right mess, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
So we lost the bar.
He was going to stay. He was going to stay, but a lot of people had gone home, and obviously it's got to be worthwhile for them to stay. So I just said, if you want to get off, get off. Plus, he had a second head growing on his forehead, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a right whack.
He kept calling you Sharon as well or something, didn't he? Sharon.
Dave.
It's like that guy, bless him, at Spring Detectable, Dave, who did the catering. He had a heart attack, didn't he?
Wow.
Oh, Nigel, yeah.
That was quite sad. That was in the morning, wasn't it?
And it was also you when you came over all ill and had the incident with the car as well, didn't you?
What's that? Oh, he was.
At Detectable last year, Adrian. At Detectable, you were quite poorly and there was an incident with the car.
Is that the man with the tracksuit who chased us? Oh, what? Detectable, Rodney Cook.
Detectable.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. We won't talk about that. No, Rodney Cook, me and James were going back to the hotel with a few others. We couldn't get a cab. We went down the long country lane. It got darker and darker and darker, and a taxi pulled up, and some people got in it. But then out of this country lane, this man in a tracksuit just jumped out of nowhere and put his hands like that on the bonnet of the car and just stared in and wouldn't move. And the cab driver was going, get out. And he locked the doors and drove off. And then there's me and James looking at this bloke in a tracksuit, and he just turned his back to us and looked in the ditch. And wouldn't move. It freaked us out. And then that's when I fell in the ditch, Dave. Do you remember? And I sent you a picture. I tried phoning you. But we got home in the end. So,
Scotty B might be having a small weekender in a few months, which I know nothing about. He hasn't told me a thing.
May have a small weekender in a few months. Well, we're talking about Rodney Cook. Rodney Cook's also got the No Frills weekender, which... based on us having a late summer this year, they're talking about autumn being warm. That's good value for money. I think it's 40 quid a ticket all weekend, isn't it? I can't remember.
And then you've got the Detect Off.
Yes, the Detect Off, which is a one-day event. And I think those all come with a bit of fun, but at the same time, great permissions to detect on.
Detectable, just detect.
Yeah. Joan Allen.
Joan Allen, yeah. What was that? Sorry.
I said we're on that. Just Detect. It's RCM, then Just Detect. Then we might sneak off down Wiltshire for one on some field by Old Sarum. That's in October.
Is that a Ministry Detect jig?
No, it's not one of ours, but it's a friend of ours that's got an event down there.
Got you.
It's a private group, so I won't mention it. But he's got an event down there, Old Sarum, which we might be going down to. It just depends what dates it falls on, really.
And then in October, you've got a private event as well.
Yeah, we have the Village Dig, which should be quite good. I can't say too much about that because they don't want us to mention it. It's kind of private.
And I know nothing about it, so I can't talk about it.
They don't want too much publicity because all the celebrities that live there.
Oh, Mount Detectomania in Scotland. Yes, mustn't forget that. James Chrissy, who came up with the word Ministry of Detect? Because it's one of my favourite club names. I think it's so cool, and I can't believe no one's taken it.
And do you know what? I thought that I kept searching to see if somebody had it, and they didn't. I don't know. I just thought I had a ring to it, really, and I kind of like the logo. And I thought, how can I work a logo into something where it looks similar to Ministry of Defence, but it's more sort of detecting related, and that's where we kind of come up with this. It was Luke made a start on the logo, Luke Anglo from Anglo Detecting, and then Steve Shorter's kind of worked on it a little bit as well, and that's how we come up with the logo in the end. So it worked quite well.
Can you show us it? Just show. Yeah.
Is this the actual one? This is, yeah, it's pretty much there. You can see it.
Yeah, the black and white, so cool. Is that how you've got so many permissions? You go up to the farmer and go, I'm from the MOD?
The amount of people that ask us what we're doing, because we have MOD event this way in the Arrows for the digs. And everyone's like, what's the army doing here? What's going on?
That's why Mount keeps
step back, don't come here.
Ramblers. Not what you found, but are there any bombs in them fields?
Yeah. You could. I think you should introduce berets for members of your club, because I think that's limited
edition berets.
Yeah, and you could have a cap as an officer. Oh my god, that'd be fun.
Like that.
Yeah. It's like, it is like military, but I love the name Ministry of Detect. Do you, Dave? I like it. MOD.
Yes, I do.
Cool.
I've always said that.
I did. I had to actually get permission to use this as well, because for copyright and stuff like that.
What, really?
Yeah. Well, when I first put it in, they wouldn't let me use it, and then I had to send fill in a couple of forms, send it back. It didn't cost a lot of money. I think it was about 20 quid or something like that. But I had to send it, then they had to accept it, and so on, because it's kind of imitating the government in a sense. That's the way it was seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Linking. Well, I suppose. Maybe Dave, our Willy Wonka Detecting Club, we might have to recheck the name of that as well.
Yeah, but we can't do Willy Wonka with an A and no O, can we?
No, but we have got an Oompa Loompa who might be in the chat.
We do. We have the little orange boy himself. I've got to thank Scotty as well. The rain, as I say, was quite bad Saturday, and it was very small in my barn. Mason went and sat in Scotty's motorhome with David, Cheyenne, and Austin. And Scotty cooked tea, so we had curry and rice, and I went and got some chips. Chicken curry, mate. I got 4 portions of chips, James, to go with tea. 4 portions of chips. They weren't the biggest portions of chips, and they cost quite a lot.
They did.
So we had curry rice and chips, and then I went and sat and played gin rummy all afternoon with Katrina.
That wasn't our original.
In muddy puddles.
It wasn't our original food truck, that one.
It wasn't the one you had last time, was it?
Our original food truck cancelled on Thursday.
Joking.
The day we were setting up, so arse fell out. We had a good ring around, and it was the lady that was doing the bar that actually managed to get them last minute, which we're very, very lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could have been a bit of a flop if we didn't get anybody.
I found it hilarious. They had a big old Royal Mail wagon, pulling their catering trolley truck.
It's like a 15-ton wagon, wasn't it? It was ridiculous.
It was a 15-ton wagon plus the catering truck and the farmer towing them off.
And they had a caravan, didn't they? Twin axle caravan as well off the back of that.
Classic. That sounds interesting. Tony Kaywood said great burgers. Don't know what
Kevin
he means
Welsh,
by that.
what the F is gin rummy? Have you never played gin rummy?
It is quite an elderly person's game, I think.
Gosh.
I played it with my grandparents. Dave,
Adrian,
would you want to visit the wall? Because somebody, a viewer has sent me the find this week.
really?
Yeah, I haven't told
When
you.
you
the
say
secret.
what did you say? Sorry, visit the.
Don't know why I got a Roman.
Do you know, I thought Dave was actually part of that video.
I should have put a cake in there actually somewhere. So anyway, let's start with this, shall we, Dave? This week, this has kindly been sent in to us.
Fibula.
No, it's not fibula. I don't think we've actually had this before. This type of product. So let's start off. Let's get the. Oh, you idiot! Right, can you see my screen, David?
Yes, Adrian.
Right. So this week, this was sent in by one of our viewers. Some might know him, some might not. But it's quite. I think it's going to be a hard one. Oh, so
Ladies first, Chrissy.
Pick a number.
I'll go for number 21 because it's my birthday on Monday.
Okay,
Happy birthday!
I
On.
hope you get more than that.
Get that. It's a ring pull.
No.
James.
I'll go for 10.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's
Is
a ring
it
pull.
an annular brooch?
No. Bob.
Is it a cat badge?
No.
Next number is number 11 from Tony Kaywood. Roman ear scoop.
Who said that?
Nick
It
Berry.
isn't. It isn't, but
Number
well, good try.
13 by Rachel Flagg.
Oh,
Is it a bodkin
no.
or a purse bar?
No.
Steve Henstridge, number 23. Is it a monocle?
No.
Bobby Hammock, number 5. A mirror or an eyeglass?
No.
Lots of people saying number 26.
Yeah, it's a ring spike in the middle.
Bronze Age
Ooh.
Talk.
No. No.
Specs.
Say what you see.
No.
Sunglasses.
Who'd bloody dig up? Yes, they're Roman sunglasses. No. I wonder if they had sunglasses.
Handcuffs or manacles.
No.
A buckle.
No.
Wire.
Yes. No.
Number 17.
Oh.
I reckon number 18 will give it away. Number 7.
I think Nick Berry's going to get it. Not because he knows, but he's quite clever.
I think it is, Chris.
Number clue. Well, it's like a lasso to me at the moment. But it's not metal.
Any other numbers or guesses,
A
Dave?
stair rod holder or a watch winder.
No.
I'll go for number 18 personally. Oh,
That gives a little bit away.
I don't know.
is it? No, it's
Don't.
Roman. A hairpin.
No.
An
I thought
IUD. Fishing
Anyone
pole.
else?
Someone pick
No.
12.
Number 12.
Stirrup.
No, I was thinking.
No, I thought that as well.
A needle.
Bloody good
Number
luck,
14. Spur.
No, we had that.
31. A Roman weight.
Bit more precise.
Roman scales.
Yes. Who got that?
Nick Berry.
I knew he'd get it. He is a very experienced detectorist. So those are Roman scales. What have they written there?
Pocklington. Oh yeah, you told me this the other day, didn't you? You sent me the picture.
Yeah.
I know who sent you that.
Yeah, so one of our viewers kindly sent
I know who sent you that because he sent me a picture of it, but not to use on not to use Adrian's wall.
Yeah, some people don't post things on Facebook. Me being one of them. So yeah. So
Nick Berry got it in about 12 goes.
Yeah, I knew Nick would get it because he's very knowledgeable and a lovely guy. And he's the one, like you said earlier, who's done this year's awards for the Big Detective Show. So hats off to you, Nick. And we will one day play his, again, his recording that he sent me, Dave, the voice message on Messenger, which was very, very entertaining. Maybe
Shall we do, Adrian? Shall we do for James and Chrissy a little bit of Spin the Coil?
I'll tell you what, blow the dust off. Make sure Bruce Forsyth's not listening because he'll come in and he'll love this. We haven't done it for a while. Is it still on the website? Oh,
It's very small.
Yeah, you did this last time.
We did this last time. We probably have changed the questions. They might be a bit inappropriate.
Let's see if it works.
This is for James.
There we go.
What do you dig with, James?
Spade. Yeah.
I've got a Blackadder at the moment, courtesy of Mark.
Lovely. You, Chrissy?
Blackadder it is.
Well, it is,
Yeah,
same again,
yeah, from Malt.
The difference, I can't remember what type it is, but for yours.
What about you, Paul?
Paul?
Say again.
What about you, Paul? I was waiting for an answer from the doorway.
No, I can't hear you. Headphones on.
Question 2. What, Chrissy, is your most wanted metal detecting find?
There's some gold Viking jewellery.
No, just
James?
do you know what? I'd love an Athelstan coin.
Nice.
That was a bit way up there.
What about you, Adrian?
Mine come in waves, and you know what the current one is?
A fibula.
Yeah, gold one.
Oh, gold one, that'd be nice.
I'm going to find a gold one. I guarantee it. It's going to happen.
James,
all over the news.
Go on.
Do you use roll-on or spray deodorant?
Spray.
Chrissy?
Any
spray?
Mine's a stick.
Yeah, women tend to go for sticks. I think it's because they haven't got hair. Well, most women haven't got hair under their arms.
I found that my missus lasts longer than mine does.
What the roll-ons do? Yeah,
no, she's got a spray, a short spray, and it lasts twice as long as my links. So if I'm on a weekender, bit of hers, it lasts longer.
Dave, we'll have to try that.
I reckon so.
Dave's got one. I borrowed yours last year at Detectable. What was it? Femi Fresh or something?
Yeah.
You lent me?
Yeah.
That worked quite well.
Don't think about borrowing Tony Kaywood's.
No.
You'll never know where them hairs come from.
Right.
Next up, Chrissy.
What?
Adrian, some of your questions make no sense to me.
It's related to so Chrissy, with a metal detector, you've got an Equinox, right? So it's fairly compact. Was very lightweight when it came out, but that was 6 years ago, I think. What if you could choose would be the best option for you on a metal detector? If you could wave a magic wand and have someone come up and change your Equinox, would it be more? Would it be lighter or would it be more compact?
I don't know really because yeah, I mean I've got used to the weight of it now, so the weight of it's not an issue for me at all. You'll see me swinging away from 8:30 in the morning right up until 4 in the afternoon, non-stop. Is that true?
Oh, detecting, yeah.
Yeah, detecting.
Yeah. Have you tried a Deus?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm just scared of trying something else and maybe thinking I'm going to miss out on something with my Equinox, if you know what I mean.
Have you thought about the 900?
No, not thought about anything. I'm quite happy with the Nox at the moment. I've had some really good finds.
Good. It's nice because dealers don't like us sticking with the same machine because obviously the more machines we buy, the more money they make. But yeah, you're right. You've got to learn your machine. What about you, James?
I've got an 800, but I'm possibly going to the dark side. I might be getting a Deus very soon, Deus 2. Well, I'm like that. I don't know because we've got Rodney Cook coming up, and I feel as if I get a Deus 2 now, I'm going to be walking around like not knowing what I'm doing. I'm Rodney Cook, and I'm thinking, do I stick with me Equinox? It's what I know, or do I just go for it and get the Deus 2?
Well, the boy Shane's turned to the dark side, and look at the luck he's had over the past 3 times out with it, and at 3 occasions what he's found.
Yeah. I mean, I find my Deus 2 easier to use than my Equinox. So, and the Manticore is very easy to use, the interface. But it's what you like, isn't it, and what you get used to. We're all different.
It's the 900 or Deus 2, but I'm undecided as yet. I don't know.
Yeah. David?
Spin the coil.
Okay. I'll room you.
James, be very careful here. What is your metal detecting magazine of choice?
ArcMD Mag.
Oh.
ArcMD Mag.
I'll take that. I'll take that. What about yours, Chrissy?
Well, one of my presents one year was subscription.
Yeah, you're not coming on again.
And it was Paul that organised it, and it's a searcher one. But after recently looking at the treasure hunting one, it was like, because I was in it, there's a lot of stuff in there that I quite liked as well. So, I don't know.
Well, it is Britain's best-selling metal detecting magazine for over, crikey, 50 years soon, Dave.
Yeah, but you have to take into account the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine is the world's biggest digital magazine for the hobby, and also the world's biggest free magazine for the hobby. Can I just put that out there? Thank you.
And there's going to be one at Rodney Cook and Detectable.
There is indeed.
And Chrissy's in it
very, very soon.
Yes.
And that might become my favourite magazine.
And you've probably got more left than I have. James is that. Do you prefer going out alone or in a group?
Do you know what? I like going out on my own, to be honest, sometimes. I really love the groups, but, I like meeting people, having a chat and things like that, but I don't get any time to do metal detecting. So now and again, I will just do a disappearing act and go out on my own and generally find quite a lot and enjoy it. So, I mean, it's an hard one. I'm undecided, but I like them both, really. Do you know what? I'd probably say group, but on somebody else's.
Yeah. So you can actually participate.
So I can relax, get out, get stuck in and do a bit.
Well, that was my thing for T-Bay this weekend. I came specifically not to do anything magazine, just to detect. Then the weather gods came.
They did, in force.
What about you, Chrissy?
Think group. I absolutely love seeing what other people have found and the reactions, and just like I'm still. You're always learning, aren't you? So it's just great seeing what people find and the history behind it all. So yeah, I like the social side very much.
Next question, Chrissy. Discriminate an item wish. Adrian, explain the question.
So we all have that on our, like, I've got my own regular permissions that have certain areas that have got good stuff, but they've also got some rubbish stuff, which it could be mood tubes, it could be shotgun shells, it could be ring pulls, it could be lead. What, Chrissy, would you love your machine 100% guaranteed discriminate, but you won't lose anything else?
On most of my videos, you'll hear me go every time I find one. That's the only response that I get. It's always a shot end. God, they're great on me. Proper great on me shot ends. Yeah. Ugly. They're just ugly. Horrible things. At least the mood tube is more attractive. And you get different variations of mood tubes, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, but then mood tubes sing to you, don't they?
Yeah.
And then you're let down by the sing.
What about you, James?
I'm going to say mood tubes because I absolutely hate them. You get that cracking signal and you think, yes, I mean, it's a coin. Especially when you're on the knocks, you know that sound. And then you dig it out and it's one of them and it's like, it's just soul destroying, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's nothing worse. So it's probably for me, it's going to be mood tube.
Who's next? James.
Mate.
Gold or old?
Oh, I'm going to say old.
Chrissy?
So when you're saying gold or old, so you're on about like, oh no, maybe something modern, like a modern piece of jewelry or something like that?
A gold stater.
Oh, well, I'd have that. I'd take that any day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but maybe Viking
gold jewelry.
I'd love a bit of Viking, definitely. But I don't know, gold stater. It's up there. I've got a Celtic silver unit, which is nearly there, but not quite.
So old or gold?
Yeah, it's hard, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gold in our heads.
Say old.
Yeah.
Chrissy?
I mean, if you... Sorry, Dave.
It's all right, Adrian.
I was going to say, if you beach detect, it's going to be gold, because you're not going to find, unless you got like 1974 Tizer can, you're not going to find necessarily, unless there's erosion off the cliffs. But yeah, predominantly it's going to be old. I think a lot of us want to find old stuff. Staffordshire Searcher, green waste, yeah, I know. What was that?
Do it again. Alone or in a group again. Have we done most wanted detective?
Yeah, we've done it. I think I'm going to click hide on that one.
Are we?
Last one.
Okay.
Favourite meat product?
Detecting or dinner? What?
Hang on.
Doesn't know those questions.
Does that mean you just carry on through without having a break?
Yes. Well, yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Thanks, James. Yeah. Do you proper gun it and just like keep detecting?
Chrissy definitely does. I like my food, so I need that little bit of energy to carry on. So I'd come back, have my dinner, have a look at the finds, and I'd be straight back out.
Yeah. I find now getting a bit older, when I stop, it's like an old car from the 1970s. It has trouble starting again. So I just...
That was me on Sunday morning. I come back from the lower fields, James, got to the van, and I thought, I can't be arsed anymore.
There was a fair way then, wasn't there? It was half a mile, that.
Was it?
Yeah, the furthest field was half a mile away.
Hey, that's not that far.
Did I tell you the story about walking down to the fields, Adrian?
It was downhill going down and uphill coming up.
But then I suppose if you've got 4 Battenberg cakes in and some Mr. Kipling Vietnamese world.
Actually, Tony Kaywood and Scotty B brought me cakes
to keep you up the hill. But
in fact, Kat was actually stood at the door going, "Hey, Dave, cake, come," like that.
It is a bit like when I'm detecting. It's a bit like a summer's evening, like tonight. Dad's just cut the lawn. You've had your bath. You're playing in the garden, and you're really having fun, like with your friends or neighbours or whatever. And Mum says, "You've got to come in a minute," and it's getting dark, and you just don't want to go in. You do not want to go to bed. And it is that you make the most out of it. I find it is addictive, isn't it, the hobby? And, you know, that one, and for me, 9 times out, well, I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but probably 20% of the best finds I've had have always been when I'm going back to the car or just finishing off the day. You spend the whole day like planning the land, where you're going to detect, what you're finding, and then suddenly you walk back to the car, and right there, like James the other week, Dave found that Bronze Age axe head, like 10 foot from the car, right by the side of the road, where you wouldn't even
Shane's ring 2 weeks ago. Come on, Rick, should we go?
Yeah.
The League Street Tour. Should we go?
Me and James, what was it, a few months ago in that field, you video chatted me. How have you found anything? I said, Crotal Bell, found nothing all day. And I said to James, I'm walking back to the car, walk back down the field, gold stater. There you go, bang, like 2 inches under the ground. Almost, I pulled it out with my finger.
You kind of just swapped off a Crotal Bell then. It was like, I'd absolutely love a Crotal Bell, mate.
I know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We need to get a Crotal Bell specialist on here because I find them nearly every weekend, and so does my mate. Find loads. Yeah,
I've still not had one.
No.
So what? I don't understand it because down south they're everywhere. There's a lot of them, and we got the big ones, got the little ones, but I've probably got a few. They're always laying around, but housing managers, she's moved them. But yeah, Crotal Bells. I don't know what did you use up north for your sheep and stuff. You must have.
I don't think they had any. Don't think they had any sheep.
We're putting down the mine.
The Welsh got them first.
I don't know. We just don't find them at all, do we?
I mean, if they're there, you'll find them.
They must have fastened them on better up north.
They're banging signal. Absolutely banging signal. You can't miss them. Any machine will pick them up.
Adrian, Gareth Howard said, can you add to the spin the coil, innie or outie belly button? And Will Way said a McDonald's or Burger King. Can you add that to it as well?
Yeah. I'll speak to the producer said, what about Little Chef? That doesn't come into it, does it? McDonald's? Is Little Chef still going?
Yes, they are actually.
They are actually.
James says he's got 30 Crotal bells hanging on the tree in the back garden.
Yeah, he's my detecting buddy, and he's like a Crotal Bell magnet. They're the ones on the tree, and indoors he's probably got another 50. He's probably wearing them now around his neck.
I'd love one.
Well, being Cockneys, you all wear them and do dancing, don't you?
Yeah, Morris dancing, yeah. So that was McDonald's. Belly button. James, have you got an innie or an outie belly button?
Mine's definitely an innie.
So's mine. We're talking about belly buttons.
Yeah. Do you get blue fluff?
Okay, yeah.
That's a man thing.
Is yours blue? Is yours blue, Dave? Your belly button fluff?
I don't know. It's down by my knees. I can't see.
Chrissy, is yours an innie or an outie?
Mine's an innie.
Okay, that's interesting.
Adrian, is yours an innie or an outie?
It's an innie, actually. Hence the blue belly
I
button
think
fluff.
outies are for the younger generation.
No, my best mate's got an outie and he's 50 odd.
Down south, they attach Crotal bells to their Prince Alberts.
Yes, we do. Yeah, Gareth.
Most big
Only
Crotal
on
bells were
Sundays.
used on horse-drawn vehicles, says Nick Berry. Well, listen, James and Chrissy, thank you for joining us this fair evening. Been an absolute pleasure, as ever. James, it's great for you to come out to the public domain like this, literally.
Finally got me out.
And thanks, Paul.
Paul. Come and say ta-ra.
Oh,
Ta-ra for now.
Oh, he's doing a Scylla Oh, could he do a Scylla impersonation?
As ever, it's been emotional, guys. What's that?
See you in a bit, buddy. Well, listen, we've got a host of, for the next 4 weeks, we're actually booked up. Next week, we've got what promises to be quite a random night of festivities. Following that, we'll be live from the Rodney Cup Memorial. Following that, we'll be live from Detectable. And the week after that, we'll have Julian Evan Hart coming on with a bit of a big announcement. So next week, it's going to be random because we are joined by Rob Random. We are letting him come on the show.
Yes, last time he came on, I was on my own, wasn't I, Dave, with Kerry? And that was quite an
you
interesting
were.
show. And you'll be in for those with humour will very much enjoy that night. It'll be interesting. There may even be special effects from Rob Random's webcam, which he did last time, which was quite funny. But yeah, it'll be a good show.
So again, thanks to Chrissy and to James. And where can they find MOD, James?
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
I don't know how to do Instagram. Chrissy sorts that out. But Facebook and Instagram will find us.
What's your Instagram, Chrissy?
Ministry of Detect MDG. Check it.
I don't know.
I'm using my phone for tonight, so I can't check it. Yeah. Ministry
And
of Detect.
for those of you who haven't already subscribed to Chrissy's channel on YouTube, it is.
I'm following.
Chrissy Detects. I'm also on Instagram as well.
What's that on Instagram?
Oh,
Look at that. Yeah. It's lovely, that ring, isn't it?
I've just followed you on Instagram, so there's a quote bell there.
And Chrissy Detects as well.
Oh, Chris on Instagram.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
Drop a comment down below.
Yeah. If you like what you see, give us a
Thumbs
like.
up.
Leave
Subscribe.
a comment.
Ring the bell thing.
That notification button.
I'm following you on Instagram, Chrissy. There you go. I have been for a while. Oh, I didn't know that.
All right.
Okay.
Right. So same time, same place next week. Thank you, James and Chrissy. Thank you, Adrian.
Thanks.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.